The voice of the drum calls. It sings a song of those who came before us and those to come. A song of survival and strength. A song of participation and voice. A song that calls us together. When we come together and participate in the 2010 census, we use this tool as the voice of all our Native people. Our voice. It is in our hands. 2010 census.
Welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Thursday, March 11th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul Demain. Many of the stories right here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. Here are the news stories for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. The Oklahoma State Medical Examiner's Office has released the name of an 8-month-old boy who was mauled to death by dogs. A spokesman for the medical examiner says Justin Lopez died of blunt force trauma to the head during the attacks this Monday. The attack occurred on Iowa tribal land near Perkins, Oklahoma. Tribal Administrator Stephanie Ramsey says 2 adult dogs attacked the infant after the animals were brought inside for shelter from the rain. Ramsey said the dogs were given to the family the day before the attack. She declined to say what breed the animals were. Planned by a Arizona tribe to build a casino and resort in the Phoenix area has divided tribes, split cities, and it's now sparking a debate at the legislator level about tribal sovereignty. The Tohono O'odham Nation is seeking federal permission to add unincorporated land near Glendale, Arizona to its reservation so it can put a Las Vegas-style casino resort on the site. Glendale has vehemently opposed the tribe's plans, saying they were developed without input from the city. The dispute has made it to a courtroom in the state legislature, where lawmakers are now considering a bill aimed at preventing the casino. The San Manuel Band of Mission Indians announced that it is donating $250,000 to the Riverside National Cemetery Memorial and Monuments Committee for the design and construction of a monument honoring the contributions of Native American veterans and servicemen and women in the armed forces. The monument will be housed at the Riverside National Cemetery in Riverside, California. Sam Manuel has made this contribution in gratitude of the sacrifice of Native American veterans to defend their country and native homeland, says San Manuel Chairman James Ramos. The monument honors a tradition of service among Indian people that began before the founding of this country and will continue into its future, he said. In a 2006 message to American Indian tribal leaders in Washington, D.C., Jim Nicholson, then Secretary of the Office of Veterans Affairs, acknowledged the service of Native Americans in defense of the freedoms enjoyed by all Americans. According to Nicholson, Native Americans serve in the military in higher numbers per capita than any other ethnic group in the country. The American Indian Veterans Memorial will be the first of its kind in the National Cemetery. San Manuel joins the Morongo Band of Mission Indians as well in partnership to make this monument a reality. A new proposal for artificial snow at an Arizona ski resort swaps reclaimed wastewater for more expensive potable water and comes with a pledge from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to help offset the costs. Under the proposal, the city of Flagstaff, Arizona, would allow reclaimed wastewater to percolate into the ground and be pumped for use at the Arizona Snow Bowl instead of shipping the wastewater directly to the resort just outside of Flagstaff. The Arizona Daily Sun in Flagstaff first reported the development this Tuesday. The proposal has the support of the resort's owners and tribes who contend spraying the San Francisco peaks with snow made from reclaimed wastewater would desecrate the mountain they hold sacred. But Arizona's 2 U.S. senators called the proposal inappropriate and a waste of taxpayers' money. In a news release this Tuesday, Flagstaff officials said the proposal would not affect drinking water supplies during the months that the Snow Bowl receives the water and would have no financial impact to the city or its water customers. The Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes are increasing the payouts for this year's Flathead Lake trout fishing tournament in an effort to entice more anglers and reduce the lake trout population there. The state and tribal co-management management plan for the lake expires this year, and the tribe wants to reduce the number of lake trout by 80,000 in the year 2011. They're considering a controversial gill netting plan to reach that goal. But first, they want to give anglers a chance. The most dedicated anglers could reel in $3,000 or more apiece during the 33-day tournament. People who catch 20 lake trout will get $35. An angler who catches the limit of $50 a day every day of the tournament could win more than $4,800. The tournament starts March 12th. So if you like trout fishing and want to earn some income doing it, head out that way. 6.5 years ago, Jamestown resident Ellen Pfeiffer began her mission, a quilting quest to recognize children who had died away from their families at a boarding school for Native American children. Families of thousands of Native American children growing up on the reservation sent their children to boarding schools more than 100 years ago. The goal of the schools was to assimilate students into the culture of the dominant white society. Reactions to the schools varied. Some families were excited about the opportunity, while others were unwilling to part with their children and forced them to learn a foreign culture. The Carlisle Indian Industrial School was the first off-reservation U.S. government-run school of its kind. Founded in 1879 in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the school was open for about 40 years and educated more than 10,000 students ages 7 through 30, said Barbara Landis, a Carlisle Indian School biographer. The students traveled from across the country and also came from regional tribes such as the Cheyenne, Chippewa, Sioux, Hadista, and Mandan. Some of Carlisle's students never returned home, though. Nearly 200 of them passed away at the school of various causes, mostly respiratory illnesses such as tuberculosis and pneumonia, according to Landis. So Pfeiffer is designing and sewing a quilt in remembrance of each one of them in hopes people won't forget. The quilt fabrics, patterns, and sizes vary, but each is a representation of a child whose gravestone resides at the school they called, lastly, their home. When she's finished, there will be about 186 quilts altogether. And that is the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank you for joining with us. Come back again soon. Miigwech.